The Philosophy of Søren Kierkegaard, Exploring Anxiety, Despair, and the True Self. Today we will talk about Søren Kierkegaard, a prominent Danish philosopher known as a key figure in existentialist philosophy. Born in 1819 in Copenhagen, the capital of Denmark, Søren Kierkegaard is recognized as a leading philosopher and theologian of the 19th century. At that time, European society was undergoing rapid changes due to the Industrial Revolution, technological advancements, urbanization, and the collapse of traditional Christian values. During this turbulent period, Kierkegaard asked the fundamental question: what does it mean to live a truly human life? The era in which he lived was heavily influenced by the Enlightenment, where science and reason dominated, and many believed that scientific progress could solve all problems. However, Kierkegaard questioned this blind faith in science and reason. He emphasized that objective knowledge derived from science and reason alone cannot explain or define the meaning and value of an individual's life. Life cannot be understood through reason. Life is understood only through paradox and contradiction. Philosophical fragments. While science can explain the natural world and its phenomena, it has limitations when it comes to explaining why we live and how we can lead meaningful lives. In this context, Kierkegaard introduced the concept of existence. Yes, the very existentialism we often associate with 20th century philosophers like Nietzsche and Albert Camus. Kierkegaard was the first to present this idea. So what exactly is existence? It concerns how the individual, the I, lives in the world and the choices one makes in life. From this point of view, existence focuses on you, your choices, your actions, and how you find meaning in life. Kierkegaard believed that existence isn't something abstract, it's deeply personal. It's about how you live, the decisions you make, and how you take responsibility for your life. I exist to become myself. The sickness unto death. Imagine when you wake up in the morning, you feel the weight of fatigue. Yet, as the leader of a project, you must go to work, even though part of you just wants to rest at home. Will taking a day off really change anything? Even these simple moments can define our attitude and direction in life. Let's think bigger. Imagine you have a stable job, but at some point you feel the urge to quit and start your own business. If you suppress this desire and continue working, you secure financial stability. However, if you start your own business, there's a higher risk of failure, but you'll be pursuing work you lead, not tasks assigned by others. This moment of choice is an existential moment. Why? Because in moments of choice, we confront our true selves. Life is filled with countless such moments, and each one is existential. In every moment, we make choices and take responsibility for them. Kierkegaard emphasized the importance of individuality in these existential moments. Individuality means making decisions about your life independently and taking responsibility for them. It's not about following others' decisions, but determining and discovering your own way of life. Subjectivity is truth. Philosophical fragments. It means that truth is found within an individual's personal experience, perspective, and relationship with life, rather than through objective facts or universal principles alone. Kierkegaard's ideas later gave birth to existentialist philosophy. A prolific writer, he often wrote in a literary style marked by irony and provocative arguments. His well-known works include Either or, Fear and Trembling, The Concept of Anxiety, Philosophical Fragments, The Sickness unto Death, and Works of Love. Today, through Kierkegaard's philosophy, we will explore the concepts of anxiety and despair, and how they can lead us to discover our true selves. Kierkegaard on anxiety. Humans are free beings capable of making choices at every moment, but this freedom and the potential for choice often cause anxiety. Kierkegaard described this as the dizziness of freedom. Just like the vertigo we feel when standing at a great height, we experience anxiety when faced with many choices. The anxiety he described doesn't carry only negative connotations. He believed that through anxiety, we can discover and grow into our true selves. Opposing the dominant Hegelian idealist philosophy of his time, Kierkegaard is known as a pioneer of existentialist thought. Instead of abstract, systematic philosophy, he focused on concrete personal life and experiences. From this perspective, anxiety is not just an emotional phenomenon, but an essential characteristic of human existence. As a theologian, Kierkegaard also explained anxiety in relation to original sin. In Christianity, original sin refers to Adam and Eve eating the forbidden fruit, symbolizing humanity's first encounter with freedom and the possibility of choice. They disobeyed God's command, exercised free will, and as a result, experienced anxiety and suffering after being expelled from paradise. Through this story, Kierkegaard illustrated the inseparable connection between freedom and anxiety. In other words, freedom isn't purely positive. It carries with it the dual aspects of responsibility and anxiety. Modern people face an excess of choices with abundant information and consumer products, often referred to as the tyranny of choice. We're constantly bombarded with decisions, which intensifies the dizziness of freedom Kierkegaard described. In such situations, we feel helpless and anxious. So how do we overcome anxiety? Kierkegaard emphasized that we shouldn't aim to eliminate anxiety completely, but learn to live with it. He believed that through anxiety, we can delve deeper into the self and experience true freedom. Rather than viewing anxiety solely negatively, we should see it as an opportunity for inner growth. Consider a job seeker anxious about their future, wondering, how will I make a living? Kierkegaard would advise facing that anxiety head-on. Reflect deeply on your interests, talents, and values, and explore different experiences to discover who you truly are. Through anxiety, we recognize our limitations and strive to surpass them, leading to the discovery of our authentic selves. Kierkegaard also emphasized the concept of a leap. When rational thinking alone cannot guide you in an anxious situation, you must make a choice based on faith. If you're unsure even after rational deliberation, take a leap guided by your values and passions. This leap signifies embracing uncertainty and taking responsibility for your decisions, a profound existential act. Kierkegaard's philosophy teaches us that anxiety can make us stronger and lead to a deeper, more meaningful life. Through anxiety, we recognize our limitations, strive to overcome them, and ultimately find our true selves. His definition of anxiety has influenced modern psychology. Instead of viewing anxiety solely as a symptom to eliminate, it's now understood as an inherent part of human existence. For those experiencing anxiety disorders, understanding and accepting anxiety and finding meaning within it can be more effective than simply trying to get rid of it. Anxiety is the essence of human existence, but when we confront that anxiety, we meet our true selves. The concept of anxiety. Kierkegaard's philosophy encourages us not to fear anxiety, but to see it as an opportunity to understand and develop ourselves more deeply. Kierkegaard's attitude toward despair. Everyone experiences despair at some point in life. While the meaning and intensity of despair vary from person to person, Kierkegaard classified despair into three main types. 1. Despair of finitude. This refers to the despair we feel when confronted with the limitations and constraints of life. It's the despair that arises in every moment when we face the fact that we are finite beings. 2. Despair of infinitude. This is the confusion and wandering we experience when facing infinite possibilities. It describes the state of being lost, unable to choose a path amidst countless options. This phenomenon is especially prominent in modern society, where an overwhelming number of opportunities often become a burden rather than a blessing. 3. Despair over oneself. This refers to the state of being lost, unable to find the meaning of one's own existence. On the surface, it may seem like someone is living without any issues, but internally they feel powerless and that their life is meaningless. Such emptiness cannot be filled through material achievements alone, leading to an existential void. Kierkegaard described this despair as the sickness unto death. This implies that despair is not just an emotional pitfall, but a serious condition that can threaten our very existence. Just as a disease like cancer threatens our physical health, despair threatens our soul and mind. Despair begins when you don't know who you are, the sickness unto death. However, Kierkegaard also believed that despair can serve as a catalyst, driving us to a higher state of existence. Through despair, Kierkegaard believed we could discover our true selves. Consider someone who worked tirelessly throughout their youth, only to realize after retirement that they never pursued anything beyond their job. Despite external success, they may face an internal void, but through this despair, they can awaken to their true values and desires. Despair allows us to confront the self we genuinely aspire to become. In modern society, we encounter various forms of despair. The struggle of not fitting into the predefined molds of success set by others. The confusion felt when ordering from self-service kiosks in an ever-evolving world. The stark contrast between our mundane realities and the glamorous lives portrayed on social media. So how can we overcome such despair? 1. Self-awareness. Kierkegaard emphasized the importance of self-awareness. We must recognize both our limitations and our possibilities. This goes beyond knowing our strengths and weaknesses. It's about deeply understanding the meaning and value of our existence. 2. The power of choice. Kierkegaard believed that the essence of being human lies in making choices. Our lives and existence are defined by the choices we make. Even in despair, we must actively choose and take responsibility for those choices. 3. Faith. As a theologian, Kierkegaard referred to Christian faith, but in a modern context, this can be interpreted as reliance on values or wisdom that transcend the self. This could mean finding purpose beyond yourself, whether through spirituality, community, or a cause you believe in. He suggested that while we cannot eliminate anxiety and despair, we can transform them positively by anchoring ourselves to a greater purpose. Contributing to the greater good beyond oneself can also expand the meaning of one's existence. Kierkegaard's philosophy remains relevant for people today who suffer from existential despair, depression, or anxiety disorders. Psychologists often draw on his insights to address these issues, emphasizing that discovering one's purpose, making responsible choices, and connecting with greater values contribute to mental well-being. Despair is the doorway to a new beginning. True freedom opens when you have the courage to face despair. The sickness unto death. Kierkegaard's view on despair teaches us valuable lessons. Despair can lead us to deeply examine the meaning and value of our existence, make better choices, and connect with higher values, ultimately serving as a turning point in our lives. Conclusion. Today, through the philosophy of Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, we explored the nature of anxiety and despair, and how these experiences guide us on a journey to discover our true selves. We are constantly faced with choices and, at times, must confront anxiety and despair. However, Kierkegaard reminds us, it's okay to stumble for a moment, but if you never challenge yourself, you will lose your true self. The sickness unto death. Anxiety and despair are not our enemies. They are opportunities to explore the depths of our inner world and grow. Don't run from these emotions. Instead, continue the journey to find your authentic self within them. I hope today's video has provided a small but meaningful reflection for your life. Please subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next video with deeper insights. Thank you for watching.